Hi guys, this is Rosita Applebaum and I'm here to talk to you guys about school. Basically just everything in a nutshell, like my college experience and what you should expect, or just like some tips if you are in college. So first off, I just want to say that I'm in my third year of college and I cannot disclose what college I go to for personal reasons, for privacy, and for security reasons, but I will say that I go to a school that is not a campus. So it is an actual urban school, so it's a city school, and I don't have like the dorm experience. I live at home and I actually commute to school every day. I go to school Monday through Friday. I take 4 classes, making me a full-time student. All 3 years I've been a full-time student, which qualifies me to not have to pay for school. So basically, if you are a full-time student and are not making a certain amount of money, you can qualify for financial aid. So using your resources is really important when it comes to college, because if not, you're going to be paying out of pocket for things that you don't have to be. So I would always, in high school, start looking up scholarships that I can apply for. If you're an honors student, you automatically get like certain scholarships and certain grants from the city. There's 2 types of financial aid. There's one from the city and one from the state. So there's a Pell and then there's the FAFSA. And if you apply for both, you can, and if you qualify for both, you can get both, meaning that all 4 classes are going to get paid for, and sometimes you even get money back in return. Always make sure that you're visiting your counselors, talking to your counselors or your parents about all the help that you can get. So as far as financial aid goes and scholarships, you can get a scholarship for almost anything these days. You can get a scholarship for being Hispanic or for just being you. Like, you can write an essay about how you love the guitar, how you love playing the guitar, an artist you like. Just always research and know your resources and use them to your advantage. The second thing is knowing what you're going for. So if you're not sure, it's okay. You can be an undecided major. You can just go and get like your liberal arts major, like just basically major in something very general, meaning you have tried everything out and still weren't sure. But if you are sure, make sure you stick to it. So I'm majoring in English. Originally, I was trying to major in like media broadcasting, but my school doesn't really have that as a major, so I had to stick with English, and that's fine because I do love writing and reading. It's one of my passions. I love to write essays, I love to write poetry, I love to write, period. So I'm majoring in English. I might minor in media. In college, you don't have to stick to one thing. If you like science and math equally, you can major in one and minor in the other, or do a double major. It's just going to require a little bit more work, but it'll pay off in the end. So a lot of you ask me, like, what's my major? So it's English, and what I want to be when I get out of college, and I want to pursue broadcasting. So anything that has to do with the news, or maybe like becoming a TV host, a radio personality, something in the media, something involved in front of the camera like I am here. Thirdly, I want to say that to always have your priorities straight. So if you are in school and you're working, realize that what are you going to school for? You're going to school so you can get a degree, so that you can get a career that is going to end up, setting you straight. That's what you're going to school for. You're spending 4 extra years, or maybe 6, so that you can obtain this degree, and not only to get a better job, but to just obtain knowledge and to have a better understanding of the world and of different subjects. So when you're there, make sure that you're not wasting your time, and that you're not just fooling around and just kind of getting by. A C is passing, but you don't want to be that student. You want to make the most out of your situation. And I work and I go to school and I have a social life, but you just have to kind of have your priorities straight. If Friday night you want to go out, but Saturday and Sunday you work, don't go out Friday night. I mean, when are you going to have time to do your schoolwork? It's just about organization and writing things down. I'm not the type of person to write things down. I just kind of have mental notes. I buy a whole bunch of planners, but I never use them. Or I don't even like using like the calendar in my phone. I'm just more of like a mental like reminder kind of person. So, whatever works for you, but just make sure you stay on track. And as soon as you start slacking off, I'm just going to slack off a little bit in this class, you'll realize that it's a domino effect, and you'll start oh, just slacking off on this other one, and oh, just this other assignment, and you'll realize that you're failing. And not only are you failing your class, but think about it, you could have passed it. Now you have to take it over. That semester now was a waste of time for you, because now you have to take the same class over, and you might have to graduate late, or take a winter semester, or take a summer semester. You're already there, you know, like you're already in. If you're going to college or you're in college, you're there. So might as well make the most out of it. Give it the most that you can. Try harder. You're there. Like, don't fool around and think, oh, party. I mean, it's hard for me to talk about that because I don't go to a school with a dorm, like with a campus. My campus is literally a building. So it's hard for me to explain like your priorities when my school doesn't really do like parties, and it's not that type of school where you go on the hall, people are drinking beer and like it's a fool around. Like my school is get down to it and get your work done and get your studies on. But I can just, from personal experience, I mean, I have friends that want me to party and go out and stuff, but just that'll happen later. There's a time and place for everything, and that'll happen later. You know, if you're dying to work so much while you're in school, like think about it. You're going to school to end up getting a better job, which is gonna be paying you way more than this job that you have right now that is temporary. This retail job that you have right now, or this office job, it's not gonna be forever. I mean, if it was, then you wouldn't be in school. So just, you know, keep the levels where they're supposed to be. This is school, this is work, and this is your social life. Keep school as your priority. It is your priority. As a young person, like, have it in you to give school your all, or else you're just wasting your time. If you're not going to remember anything from school, why did you go? I mean, try to get the most out of it and make it something fun. Take classes that you know are going to be fun. There's a website, I think it's called ratemyprofessor.com, and before you actually sign up for the class, you can take that person, the teacher's first and last name, put it into this website, this database, and it'll tell you like reviews on the teacher. So if you see that this teacher is a real stickler for attendance, and you know that you're going to be working and you're not going to be able to make it on time, don't take that course. Don't take that class. Take it with another teacher who maybe isn't so, you know, based on attendance and maybe on something else. So it's just kind of like doing your research, knowing what you're getting yourself into. It's 4 years, and I'm just going to tell you that it gets harder. My first year of college, I was a little scared. I was a little intimidated. I didn't do so well in my grades, but the first semester, I was really scared and nervous. In the second semester, I realized that I had to pick it up. Every school has GER, which are general education requirements. So you have to take a math class. You have to take an English. You have to take something out of every subject. They give you a certain amount of options for each subject that will count towards that general education requirement. So if I know that I'm not really too fond of, let's say, anthropology as a science, I can take biology as a science if I know that's what interests me more, and I'll end up getting a better grade because my interest will show. And it's gonna get harder. The first year it's gonna be different, especially if you don't know anybody there. But just stick with it, and just, you know, have your family as support for you and your friends back at home as your support system. Value education a lot, and I feel as though we have the wrong intentions. We have the wrong motivation, and the reason why we're going to school is to just get a better job. In reality, we should be going to school to learn more, to know about different subjects, to just be more well-rounded and walk out with more information than we walked in with. And I feel like, yeah, you know, you do at the end of the day want the job because that's just in our nature, but go in with the attitude that you're going to get the most out of this experience, especially if you're not paying for it. I mean, if your parents are paying for it, or financial aid is paying for it, why would you slack off? You know, like, I'm not saying that if you pay for it, you should slack off either, but when you're working for it, you value it because you're actually paying out of pocket for your classes. But if you're not paying for it and you still are failing, I mean, think of the people that don't have the chance to get into schools and don't have the chance to have the same education as you, and that are begging for a chance to get into a college. You're in that college, you know, just make the most out of it, and grab the most that you can. Take advantage of school, take advantage of your courses, take advantage of your professor. Be nice to people, but not too nice. Don't get too acquainted with people. Just keep everything at bay, and have your priorities straight. That's really all it is. Your priorities have to be straight, and it's gonna get harder, it's gonna be different. You just have to remember that it's gonna be okay. Don't stress yourself out to the point where you are crying every night, or if you fail a test, it's okay. I promise you, pinky promise, it'll be fine. If you fail a test, take that as a motivation to do better on the next one. Think of that feeling you get when you get your paper back and everyone has 90s and you have a 55. It doesn't feel good. And then you remember, what was I doing instead of studying? I was on Twitter, or I was at a party, I was thinking about a boy, I was with a boy. You know, think of that, and think of how they're not there at that moment. That party that you went to last week that no one remembers you from, they're not there to rub your back when you got that 55. So keep your priorities straight and in check, but don't stress yourself out either. Don't overwhelm yourself, because you can make yourself really sick with stress. Stress is something very, 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 very serious, and I have, you know, suffered from some like stress, anxiety, and things like that. And I mean, it's a really like a very, very serious subject. But just if it's not in you to be like a stressed out person, don't kill yourself over an exam. I mean, if you're gonna graduate, you're still gonna graduate even though you failed that exam. Just make sure that after that you pick it up. If you make the same mistake twice, the second one was an option. Learn from your mistakes. If you didn't have such good study habits last semester, make it a point for the next semester to have great study habits and to really be on top of it. It's just 4 years of college, and if you go for the extra 2 or extra 4 years, but the main 4, right? Make sure you own those. Those are your years. Those years are your life, and make sure that you walk out with a degree, and make sure that you gave it your most, because a lot of people graduate college and enter the real world where they have to pay bills, where they have to get a job, where they have to live on their own, drive their own car. You know, when it gets to that, you're gonna say, I really miss college. I really missed how easy I had it. I lived with my parents. I didn't have to really do much. All I had to do was study and do good in school, and I didn't do that, and now it's too late. I already did it, and I already went through those 4 years, and I already got my master's, and you know, I didn't really get the most out of it. So just always keep your stress levels at bay, relax, breathe, and just give it the most that you can. You know your potential. You know when you're pushing yourself. If you're not pushing yourself, do it. And you're already in college, and you have to like applaud yourself for that, and give yourself the props. But also don't get so, oh, I'm in college, so I don't have to do anything now. I got here, I'm good. No, that's not the case. You're there, but show everyone that you're gonna get your degree, and that you're gonna get a really good GPA, and you're gonna graduate and be the person that you want to be, and get the career that you want to get. And that's it. If you guys have any other questions, let me know in the comments on this video. If you have any other questions about college, or any video that you'd like to see in specific. I know I didn't really cover every little thing, because that would be really hard in a 10 to 15 minute video. But yeah, if you have any questions, either inbox me, like message me if they're personal. And I just want to thank you all for subscribing. And I know I haven't really been like making a lot of like tutorials or things like that, and I mean, it kind of has to do with this video, you know, keeping your priorities straight. And you guys are my priority as well, but I'd rather make these videos that are very easy to do for me, because they come very natural, and rather than sitting here and doing makeup for, you know, days that I don't usually wear makeup. Like, I rarely wear makeup to school these days. If you're wondering what's on my lips, it is MAC Up the Amp. It is a purple color. I have a clear lip gloss over it by Buxom, and I have my eyes really, really simple today, really light eyeliner. My hair is just straightened, and my hat with the pom-pom is from H&M. And yeah, so I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. I will make a video before my birthday, but I just wanted to let you guys know that my birthday is the day after Halloween. It's November 1st, and I'm excited. I'm going to be 20 years old, so yeah, that's really exciting. So thank you all for subscribing and watching. I will see you in the next video.